Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am showcasing a team that I currently, at the time of recording, have an 80% win rate with. That team is Nidoqueen lead, Obstagoon cover, and a Jellicent safe swap. I will be showing the team's overview and strategy, how to play the most common leads, and battles. If you only want to see the battles, use the timeline in the video to navigate. This team was actually given to me by one of my Discord server members, MagmarMan26. To join my Discord server, check the link in the description. In the Discord server, you will find resources for every Go Battle League, the chance to participate in Silph Tournaments, plus there's a new remote rating system. Anyways, I'll start with the video. Nidoqueen acts as the anti-grass and anti-fairy and anti-fighting Pokemon, while also having play against steel types with Earth Power. It is a strong pick in the lead because it can drop a Poison Fang onto a Pokemon that switched in, lowering the defense of the opposing Pokemon and allowing almost complete control of switch advantage. Obstagoon is the anti-steel as well as anti-ghost and anti-psychic. It can fulfill these roles quite nicely with decent bulk, counter, and night slash. Having Gunk Shot allows for more coverage against fairy types. Jellicent is a great safe swap, is quite bulky, and has great coverages against most of the meta. With the Ghost and Water typing, it acts as the anti-fire, second anti-psychic, and the second anti-fighter Pokemon. Using Shadow Nidoqueen instead of regular Nidoqueen if you have one is the best choice, as it gives key wins against common Pokemon in the 1-shield scenario, as opposed to the 2-shield scenario wins that regular Nidoqueen has, due to the 20% increase in attack that Shadow Pokemon get. Obstagoon on this team can be replaced with Umbreon for higher bulk and more play against flying types. However, the team loses a hard punish for a steel type like Galarian, Stunfisk, or Bastiodon. Running Obstagoon with Cross Chop is also an option, making wins against steel types much more convincing. However, you lose out on play against fairy types, and a hard-hitting coverage move with Obstagoon. Against Galarian, Stunfisk / Nidoqueen Mirror on the lead, build up to Earth Power and throw Poison Fang. If they shield, shield yourself and go for Earth Power. If they don't shield, swap to Jellicent after shielding yourself. If they shield twice, swap to Jellicent. Against Azumarill on the lead, play out the 2-shield matchup. Against Bastiodon, build up to Earth Power, throw one Poison Fang, and go straight for Earth Power even if they didn't shield the Poison Fang. Against Jellicent on the lead, swap to your own Jellicent. Against Hypno on the lead, also swap to your own Jellicent. Mew on the lead is a little bit tricky. If it's the Wild Charge and Surf moveset, shield the Surf, throw Poison Fang, and swap to Jellicent at the right time to catch the Mew's second Surf. Mew gets to a Surf every 5 Shadow Claws. If it's the Wild Charge and Flame Charge moveset, you don't need to worry about shielding anything. Against Umbreon on the lead, take the matchup to the 2 shields going straight Poison Fang. Against Swampert on the lead, swap to Obstagoon. Against Politoed on the lead, swap to Jellicent. Against Abomasnow on the lead, shield twice, go for 1 Poison Fang, and completely farm down. Or you can trade shields and catch the second Weather Ball on Jellicent. 5 Powder Snow for the first, 4 Powder Snow for the second Weather Ball. It rotates in that pattern. Against Alolan Ninetales on the lead, shield twice, go for 1 Poison Fang, and completely farm down. Against Venusaur on the lead, take the matchup to the 2 shields going straight Poison Fang. Against Meganium / Serperior in the lead, stay in and match shields. Against Skarmory in the lead, swap to Jellicent. In the first match, my opponent leads a shiny Mew. So Mew can be quite tricky to deal with because with the Surf and Wild Charge moveset, it beats both Jellicent and Nidoqueen. And unfortunately this Mew is running Surf. So what I'm going to have to do is get this Mew low enough in the HP so that my Jellicent will be able to get to a Bubble Beam and take it out. I do this by first going for a Poison Fang and lowering its defense, and then catching a Surf on my Jellicent, which is resisted. But unfortunately, they swap into a pretty hard counter of a Scrafty, So things are not really looking good right now because I won't be able to get a shield with my bubble beams, as the Scrafty can absorb all of them. All I can do is lower its attack. And I will be at shield and switch disadvantage when the Scrafty takes out my Jellicent. So I'm just continuously going for these bubble beams. And now my opponent is actually going for a power-up punch to try to counteract the bubble beam attack drop. And slowly, the bubble beams are chipping away at the Scrafty's health. And unfortunately, due to some lag, I'm not able to get to the next bubble beam, which is quite unfortunate. That means that I'll have to take more damage from the Scrafty's foul play that it throws. Not wanting to get farmed down, they swap into a Skarmory. So 2 shields up against a 1-shielded Obstagoon, Skarmory will very handily beat this Obstagoon. But if they don't shield 1 Night Slash, I'll be able to get it low enough that I can take it out with my Nidoqueen or counter it down with my Obstagoon. So I'm just hoping they don't shield this, and they don't, which is great. I'm timing my charge moves so that my opponent doesn't get any Air Slash through. They shield the second Night Slash, ensuring that they can get to a Sky Attack and get this Obstagoon low in health. And I throw another Night Slash. This actually doesn't get the shield, and they let it go down. And I'm gonna pause right here. So my opponent swapped into their Mew, and I know that the Scrafty has enough HP that if I drop both Poison Fangs onto this Mew, taking it out, the Scrafty with the damage from counter will either take out my Nidoqueen at the same time my Nidoqueen takes out the Scrafty, or which will result in a tie or a loss for both people, or the Scrafty will take the Nidoqueen out, my Nidoqueen out before my Nidoqueen can take out his Scrafty. So what I'm going to have to do here is drop a Poison Fang onto the Mew, which grabs the first the shield, and then I have to farm down the Mew so I have enough energy for a Poison Fang. That way I can take out the Scrafty. Good game, well played. In the second match, my opponent leads a Jellicent, horrible lead. So I swap it right away into my own Jellicent, and they're staying in, and they throw a move. So I do shield, and it is a Shadow Ball, not a Bubble Beam bait, which is quite nice. And then they swap into a Azumarill, which means they probably don't have a hard check to Jellicent. But since my Jellicent took damage from the opposing Jellicent hexes, 2 Play Roughs will now be enough to KO my Jellicent. So I will be able to get my shield back, but I won't be able to get switch advantage without spending another shield, which is fine by me. I go for this next Shadow Ball and does not get the shield or take out the Azumarill. And I'm actually not able to get to another Bubble Beam, or I get to a Bubble Beam, which is quite unfortunate. And the Azumarill does take out my Jellicent. And I actually come in with my Obstagoon here. Why do I do this? Well, I know that if I come in with my Nidoqueen, the Azumarill will go down faster because it's taken super effective from a Poison Job, and both of my Pokemon will get less energy. And so I bring in my Obstagoon knowing that I'll have to swap out of my Nidoqueen when they bring back in their Jellicent and swap into my Obstagoon. Knowing that I'm not going to take a lot of fast move pressure from this Azumarill, I want to get as much energy as I can onto my Obstagoon because I know I'll swap out anyways. That way my Obstagoon will have a higher chance of taking out both of the backline Pokemon. So I'm able to farm down the Azumarill. And out comes an Altaria. So I'm going to go for the Gunk Shot here. I hope this lands because it will deal a lot of damage, and it does. And so I'm going to swap into my Nidoqueen. Now, I make the mistake here of going for Earth Power on my Nidoqueen. I should have known that they would shield because their Altaria is lower in health, so I should have gone for the Poison Fang. But instead I went for the Earth Power, and now I can't shield because they'll just outpace me to their next Ice Beam or Shadow Ball. And because they went for Ice Beam, I'm not even able to get to Poison Fang, which is quite unfortunate. And I know that the Altaria Sky Attack will deal more damage than the Ice Beam from the Jellicent, or maybe the same amount. Actually, I'm not sure. And so I'm farming as much as I can and throwing the Night Slash against the Jellicent. And now it's just a race to see if I can get to a Gunk Shot or 2 Night Slashes before the Altaria takes me out. So it's cutting it really close here. I go for the first Night Slash, and it's not enough to KO, and I'm just barely able to get to the second Night Slash, taking out the Altaria. Good game, well played. In the third match, my opponent leads a Shadow Abomasnow. So I can either spend both shields and come out with energy from this matchup, or I can trade shields and catch the second Weather Ball on my Jellicent. We trade shields. And I decide to double shield and farm down the Abomasnow. Out comes a Hypno, so I'm going to immediately swap to my own Jellicent. And they come in with an Azumarill, which is quite interesting. I personally would have stayed in with my Hypno and gone for a Shadow Ball or a Thunder Punch. And I'm just going to go for these Shadow Balls. And it seems that from the health range that my Jellicent's in, 2 Play Roughs will be enough to KO. And the second Shadow Ball does not get a shield. Nor does this Bubble Beam that I throw. And it was actually a CMP tie. And I make a mistake here of coming in with my Nidoqueen. And I also make another mistake of throwing Earth Power instead of Poison Fang, because I probably should have known that the Obstagoon, the Hypno would have shielded. But it's still fine, because I'll be able to survive 2 Thunder Punches or Fire Punches from the Hypno and take it out. But unfortunately, the Hypno threw Focus Blast, which one-shots my Obstagoon, and because I threw Earth Power, not Poison Fang, I'm not able to get to an Earth Power to take out this Hypno, which is good game. GG. In this match, my opponent leads Venusaur. So, regular Nidoqueen wins against Venusaur in the 2-shield matchup, and Shadow Nidoqueen wins in the 1-shield. I actually first shield the first Poison Fang, which is interesting. And I shielded up this Frenzy Plant, and I actually swap into an Altaria, which is also interesting. So I'm going to go for this Poison Fang here, lowering the Altaria's defense so that a Shadow Ball from my Jellicent will be able to KO. And the Altaria throws Sky Attack, but I'm able to tank it just fine. And I'm overloading energy, knowing that the Venusaur will be coming back in and most likely farming down. So I throw the Shadow Ball and it takes out the Altaria. I make a stupid mistake here of tapping on Bubble Beam when I obviously should have built up to Shadow Ball and either threw the Shadow Ball or threw the Bubble Beam, because now my opponent knows that it's not a Shadow Ball and they don't have to shield. And now I just have to let my Nidoqueen go down. Well, my Nidoqueen actually survives the Frenzy Plant, and then they swap into a Shadow Swampert to try to farm down, and I save the Nidoqueen at 1 HP and swap into my Obstagoon. So I know my Obstagoon will be able to take out this Shadow Swampert because we're on even shields, but I know that the Venusaur has enough health to survive a Night Slash and get to a Frenzy Plant. So I already know that I'm going to have to do a sack swap to catch a Frenzy Plant on the Venusaur so that my Obstagoon can take it out. I overfarm and throw the Night Slash against the Shadow Swampert, taking it out. And then I throw the Night Slash on the Venusaur. Does not take it out, and I'm counting, and I swap into my Nidoqueen, catching the Frenzy Plant at the perfect time. That way I'm able to take out the Venusaur with my Obstagoon. Good game, well played. In the last match, my opponent leads Jellicent, another one. So again, I immediately swap into my Jellicent, and again, they're staying in for some time. This time they store a Shadow Ball, and then swap into a Mandibuzz, which is another hard counter. So because I don't have Ice Beam, I can only lower its attack, and I can't deal lots of shield threatening damage, although I wouldn't have gotten a shield even if I had Ice Beam either way. I just would have dealt more damage to the Mandibuzz. And I'm just continuously chipping away at this Mandibuzz's health. And they're going for foul play. And actually it just barely doesn't take me out, but the ensuing Snarl will. And my opponent actually swaps out into their own Jellicent because they want to keep all that energy and use it when they're not debuffed in attack, which is a pretty good play. And what I'm going to do here is just, since my Obstagoon will basically wall this Jellicent, I'm not sure where they threw Shadow Ball there, maybe they didn't know it was double resisted, is throw a Night Slash and overfarm as much as I can, storing as much as energy as I can. And actually, I get the attack boost. But it's okay, and it doesn't really matter because the Night Slash would have taken it out either way. And so I'm just gonna overload on energy. I'm at 100 energy, and I'm just gonna tank this Bubble Beam. And when I throw this Night Slash, I actually undercharge it because I want the maximum amount of energy possible. And I have a Gunk Shot stored. Knowing that the Mandibuzz will most likely come in and try to take out all the energy on my Obstagoon, I swap into my Nidoqueen and throw the Poison Fang, which actually gets a shield. And the Mandibuzz swaps. Mandibuzz throws a move, and I actually shield it, knowing that it is an attack debuffed, and it's my Nidoqueen is pretty much the last Pokemon, as my Obstagoon is low in health. And I throw the next Poison Fang, and gets the Mandibuzz low. And they throw a foul play, and in the back is a Medicham. So I'm gonna build up to Earth Power and throw Poison Fang, hoping to get a shield. And it does get a shield, which is great. And so they go for an Ice Punch here. I'm gonna shield. It is the Ice Punch. And just to be safe, I store Earth Power on my Nidoqueen and then swap to my Obstagoon, going for the Gunk Shot, which one-shots the Medicham. Good game, well played. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you in any way or you enjoyed it, make sure to press the subscribe button. It really helps out. Anyways, happy battling. Peace.